All right, so this is episode 16 of Oluswole, the podcast on a budget. I'm excited to welcome our guest. He's an established footballer and a future business mogul. Jorge, what's good?
I'm good, bro. How you doing? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Excited to have you on the pod.
Yeah, thank you for having me here.
No problem, no problem. So I like to start the podcast with like a little bit of context for the audience in case they don't know you. So you went to the same high school, graduated in 2020, and I think you joined in year 9. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah, man.
yeah, so that's the equivalent of 8th grade. And then our school has a house system, so it's basically like we're split into quarters, and there's like it's kind of like Harry Potter, that kind of
Yeah,
vibe. Yeah. So we were in the same house for 5 years. So you're 9, so you're 13.
okay. Yes,
Yeah.
the boys.
Yeah. And I don't know if you remember, but I think I'm the guy who actually showed you around on your first day when you came.
Now, I do remember. Trust me. I got there. I was so lost. Kareem was supposed to, because he was in my form. Kareem was
Uh,
supposed to be the guy that showed me around, and he was late on the first day of school. And I was like, "Oh my god!" I was so confused. And then um, Miss Mason, who was my form tutor at the time, she was like, "Oh, this is Timmy. Will show you around." And you just started showing me around the whole school. I was like, "Oh my day!" I remember that, bro. I remember.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. That was uh that
Yeah,
was
I,
a
I
fun
was
time.
so, and I literally remember it was my first day. I got dropped off. I was like, so obviously I was nervous. Like year 9, I was like, okay, I don't know anyone here. And then my teacher was like, oh yeah, Kareem's supposed to show you around. I don't know where he's at. And I was like, and that's just such a Kareem thing to do on first day of school. He just left me there. I was like, oh my god, yeah,
Yeah, bro was slacking, but I picked up the slack for him. So,
he did, bro. I mean, to be
yeah.
fair, he wasn't the best person to show me around the school. I think you are. You are Lotfi. One of you two.
Yeah, yeah. We've been there for longer, or for the longest, so it makes sense. But I think we really became friends in year 12, like sixth form.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think when everyone sort of became friends with each other with sixth form, because we were all in the common room, obviously, and like it was very compact, and everyone seeing each other, and
yeah,
obviously like because you and Kareem and Lucas were in maths, and you guys started becoming friends, and then you sort of came in, and then yeah, so that's when I'd say that's when I mean obviously we knew each other when we talked, but I think that's
mm,
when we become sort of like started becoming friends. Yeah,
yeah. I say that's accurate. And speaking of sixth form, class of 2020 was the first cohort from our school to have a yearbook,
yeah,
and it was Jackson, Lofty, and I were the people working on the yearbook. We were badgering people on Microsoft Teams, saying like, "Hey, send your quotes, send your messages, all of that." And we finally got them all, but some of them were pretty memorable. I remember yours is pretty memorable.
yeah.
Uh, I believe your quote was, "Oh my days, Jorge Diaz by
Oh
Jorge
yeah,
Diaz."
it was like oh my days because like everyone said that I said that way too
Yeah,
much. Whenever something went wrong, and I was like, oh my days. I still do it, but yeah,
yeah, it's an iconic quote.
yeah,
Yeah,
it is to be fair. I do say a lot.
yeah. I mean, some of them I really appreciated the yearbook quotes and messages that made me laugh out loud. That was definitely one of them. Uh, yeah,
I think I
like
actually put something as well about Mr. Patel and the apple.
oh
So
yeah,
we
yeah,
got two quotes right or something like that. It was like a quote and then
a message.
yeah, yeah. So I think the quote was on my days and the message was I don't know if you were there, but that time when I smashed the apple, I don't know why. I don't know why I did that.
I wasn't there, but I think I had like string ensemble as I always do
No, but
practice. But I
it
heard
was
about it.
yeah, it was crazy. I basically I don't know why, but I had like an apple and I didn't want to eat it, and it was in one of those Ziploc bags, that I always used to put bring my lunch with,
Mm.
and so I put it there and I didn't want it, and we sort of just started playing like punching it around like oh, ha, 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 ha. and then and then I don't know why I literally took my watch off and I was like boom, and I smashed it so hard. It literally, bro, it went into like millions of pieces. It literally, all of it. I don't know. I think it was Swati was in front of me. It went all over her hair. She turned around. She was like, "What the hell?" And I was like, "Yo!" And then the rest of it, because there was like a big piece of the apple, and it just rolled all the way down to Mr. Patel's foot. He looked up and he was like, and I was like, "Oh." And I think yeah, it just went so. I think it was like like bag apple punch or something like that, and then
Yeah.
I got banned from the common room for like a week.
Y-
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that. It was a bunch of short one syllable words
yeah,
and
yeah.
like
Yeah.
full
That's what.
stops. Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember. If I can find it, I think I have the yearbook on my computer. If I can find it, I'll
I
probably put it in the
I have the
podcast.
yearbook at home, but yeah,
Yeah.
it
Make
was
for
something like that. I think it was like bag apple punch, like ban or something like that. I don't know.
yeah. Yeah, good times. The
But so
common room.
certainly, didn't forget that. He told me when he saw the yearbook, he was like, and I was like,
Yeah. A lot of movies made in that common room for sure.
yeah,
I mean, a lot
too
of
many, bro.
stories.
Too many.
Yeah. To be fair, I wasn't in there much, but I mean, whenever I was in there, there was always some crazy stuff happening. Yeah.
So honestly, I think, like if it hadn't been as close as it was, because the teachers kept like, there was a period where teachers were coming in all the time. I think it would have been so much crazier, honestly.
Mm.
But no, it was good. It was good fun. I think that's literally one of the best things that's happened in Brighton, like the common room.
Yeah,
If we
for
didn't have
sure.
the common room, because remember there were talks of like us getting like a whole building to ourselves. I don't know if you we
Mm.
were like, oh yeah, that
Mm.
building outside is gonna be your front. We were like,
Yeah.
oh my god, we were so excited. And then we got like it was a pretty bad common room, but it is what it is. We had fun there. So.
I actually think the common room was slept on because people said it was trash, but I feel like it was just it was messy because people didn't clean up after themselves. Like the common room
Uh,
itself was actually
yeah.
quite nice, I'd say.
I mean, we had a prefect, didn't really do much. Arsh. He did not do his job, bro. He didn't do it. But no, I think it's because like previous to when we came, they obviously had like a pool table. They had like
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
what else they had. They had something else. I don't know.
Ooh, I forgot what it was. They definitely had a pool table.
Yeah, but when we came, it sort of just downgraded, and we just we were like, we were so. I remember everyone was so excited. We're like, oh, we're gonna be playing pool all the time. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And, yeah, nah, they just took it away.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the one thing I was looking forward to in the sixth form, just like having a pool table. That's such a like a, I don't know. It's a really boss thing to have in a school, and then they just took it away from us.
In suits as well, you're playing there like, and you just look so sick. But nah, they took it away from us, bro.
Yeah, James Bond type beat. That's what it
Literally,
would have felt like.
take the jacket off.
Exactly. Outside of the punching apple incident and being in sixth form, like what do you have any other memorable moments from Brighton?
I think there's too many. I think that I don't know if you remember this because I think you at the time, because it was like year 9, year 10, you were sitting
Mm.
inside eating like the lunch hall, whatever. You sat inside there, I think.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you like Arsh and Jack and everyone. We sat outside, one of the
Mm.
benches outside, going to the PE corridor, and there was a time. It was George Manders. Don't know if you remember him. And I don't know. I had like an orange. Everything just regards fruit and food. All these stories. I had an orange, and I wanted to eat it. I just left it there because I was like eating my other food, and then like George Manders like grabbed it and started like throwing it or something, and I was like, bro, what are you doing? Like,
Mm.
why are you doing that? He was like, ah, ha, ha. And I was like, what's the point? And I remember I got into a little bit of a fight with him, and like he like I don't know if he squirted the orange at me or something, and I ended up chasing him, and I kicked him so hard I thought I broke his leg. Miss Jordana was there. She was like, "What are you doing, boys?" And George Manders was tiny, and I was like, "You took my orange. You just took my orange and stuff." And then she was like, "I don't care," and then blah blah. And I don't. I think we didn't get into trouble, but yeah, that was another one.
Yeah. Pretty big height difference between you and him, so that would have
No,
looked funny.
at the time, I wasn't that tall, but he was just tiny. Like,
Uh,
he was, yeah.
yeah, it sounds pretty memorable.
I kicked him so hard. I don't know why I kicked him so hard. Obviously, because we were friends, so it was just like a little, a little joke. But
Yeah.
it was
Yeah,
so hard. Why I broke his leg.
just a little bit of, friendly banter. Boys will be boys, as they say,
Literally.
Yeah. Let's, take it back to memory lane for a bit. you were born in Madrid, but I don't know if you, I know you lived in London, but I'm not sure if you spent more time in London or Madrid growing
Yeah,
up.
no. So I was born in Madrid. My whole family's Spanish. Everyone. I lived there for 9 years, and then obviously for work reasons, my dad had to move to London, and we moved with him, obviously. And I was there for 4 years. But obviously, those 4 years are like, because I moved when I was 9 to like 13. So obviously, those 4 years are like influential periods in your life. Where you actually like learn before you like before you're about 10. You don't really know what's going on. You know what I mean? Like you're clueless. You're so oblivious to life. But
Hmm.
after that, and that's when I sort of started becoming aware of things and what was going on. So I think that really shaped, living there. It really changed, like not really changed, but it definitely shaped the guy who I am right now.
Mm. Um, did you? You said you grew up in Madrid before you moved to the UK. So, were you only speaking Spanish?
Yeah. So I mean, I was speaking Spanish. I went to a bilingual school,
Okay.
and for the last 2 years while I was there, I think that's when I started sort of learning English. But it was like very, very basic stuff, like hello. So I wasn't. I went to London with very, very basic English, and
Mm.
from there, you're just speaking it every day. You're sort of forced to learn it and be able to communicate with everyone there. So that's what I did.
How did you adapt so quickly? Because like hearing you speak, it doesn't sound like you speak English as a second language. You know.
Yeah, no, I think like I said, I think it was in such an influential period in my life, like when you're really learning and I don't know, becoming aware of what's going on. So I think that if I had gone when I was 14, I wouldn't have learned it as quickly and adapted as quick as I did. I
Mm.
think that really helped. For example, my brother, he left when so he was 6 when we got to the UK, and he struggled a lot more. He was younger. He was still in that part where you just don't know what's going on, and he struggled more, like learning it. I think now he's fine, but he did struggle more. I think for me, because I think literally also intellectually, I mean, like, there's differences there, but but I think the time period when I was in the UK really helped me to adapt.
Mm. That's interesting you say that because I would have thought that being younger would give you an advantage for language learning. You know.
That's so false, bro. I'm not even joking.
Mm.
Your brain, it's more prone to learning a new language when you're younger. The older you become, the harder it gets. That's a fact. That's science. That's a fact. And
Mm.
because when I was younger, I learned Chinese as well, a little bit of Mandarin. Ni hao ma, obviously that. That's all I can say. I can say. So that's when for example, I was learning English and Chinese at the time. And
Mm.
then once I got to the UK, I sort of stopped Chinese because in the school they didn't offer it.
Mm.
And then I tried to get back into it, not by my choice, my parents or do it, the language of the future. Uh, and then and then I tried, but it was just way
uh,
harder. And it's the same with Arabic, for example. When I got to Abu Dhabi, it was so much harder for me to learn a new language,
mm.
especially new like alphabet. Because it's completely different like symbols and yeah.
Yeah. A whole different writing system. Like they write from right to left, so instead of left
Yeah,
to right. Yeah.
more than that, it's just the whole alphabet. Because if I was learning a language like I don't know, German, right?
Mm.
Oh, French. I was good at French. I was good at French. Really.
Yeah. 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 You're in the same class. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that is easier, but it's the fact there's a whole new alphabet, like having to associate A with Aleph, was it? Is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that completely messed up my mind while learning it. And I gave up and Arabic just became a joke.
Yeah. But when you first arrived in the UK and you were, a Spanish speaker trying to learn English, did you feel like in those initial stages, did you feel like you had to kind of code switch between being Spanish at home and speaking Spanish at home and, being in a different kind of environment outside of the home?
Um it was at the start it was it was certainly difficult, but now, for example, I still do that now, bro. Like, well, not anymore because here's a little bit different because I've got Spanish friends who I live with, but I'm going to live with next year.
Oh, that's cool.
But for example, when I was in Abu Dhabi, I have to go the whole day speaking English. Every single one of my friends, you guys are all English, and then go back home and certainly just start speaking Spanish. It wasn't weird, but at the start, when I did get to the UK, it was a little bit not difficult, but strange.
Mm. Yeah. I mean, it's good that you can still keep your Spanish skills alive, even though you're not in Spain. Because I mean, Spanish speakers at home, you got to converse with all the time. So
Yeah,
yeah.
but so I was I in the UK I actually went to Spanish classes because um well, I wasn't losing it. You don't lose that. But
Mm.
obviously from being at a very advanced stage where I was speaking Spanish and being able to write it, so my mum decided that it was a good idea for me to go to like a Spanish sort of academy at night. Sometimes I think it was like once a week, twice a week maybe, and then just sort of get taught the level that they were getting taught in Spain at my age. So I think that helped me a little bit. But yeah, I think if I didn't have my parents, for example, if I went to a boarding school, it would have certainly been a different story, and my Spanish would not be as good as it is today. I'm fluent in Spanish, I'm fluent in English as well. So I think
Mm.
if I had gone to a boarding school, I wouldn't have been able to retain the level of Spanish that I do right now.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely. I mean, I'm not bilingual, but it's definitely dope that you're able to speak two languages fluently, like fluently. Like that's pretty impressive. It's not easy though.
It's not easy to learn, but once you actually get into it and you know what you're doing, then it just comes like that.
Mm. Clockwork.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah, so there's something when I was doing my notes for this podcast, I was thinking about the UK, and I know you go to we didn't even introduce your university. You go to University of Leeds,
Yeah,
and you're studying business management, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So you're based in the UK right now. Something that I see that's really popular is the UK fade. Like really short on the sides and then long on top. Like how
I need
see
to I need to get a refaded, but yeah.
yeah, it's a really popular haircut. I'm just wondering, like, do you know how that originated or why it's so popular?
So like obviously for the people that watch it will probably know that I used to have curtains, like really long curtains. Like it used to get it down here, bro. I thought it was a good look. It really wasn't. In hindsight, looking back at it, it was horrible. I literally looked like, what's her name? I don't know if it's Elmo or something from The Incredibles. The
Oh,
secretary.
Velma, the one wearing
Yeah,
orange.
that one. The haircut like this and like that.
Yeah.
It used to look like her. And yeah, no, it was
uh,
not a good look, but I just thought, why not like summer? And I don't know, I just thought it looked decent. I just went, just do it. And then I ended up liking it. So I'm just keep it like this. But yeah,
fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah, it's such a UK like
it is
British haircut.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
now it's just expanding everywhere because now you see it in Spain, you see it in Spain, you see it in,
Mm.
I don't know if in the US you see it, but even in Abu Dhabi, there are people who, who are not, obviously not as much as in the UK, but yeah, certainly everywhere now.
Yeah. It's
But I don't know.
international.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a whole
comfortable, bro. It's comfortable. I get out of the shower, I don't have to do anything. Before I literally blow dry my hair. I went through like stages. I went to tie it, blow dry it, put some wax in it. It was horrible. And now,
mm.
now it's comfortable.
Yeah, fair enough. You gotta do what's best.
Yeah.
Uh I'm a fade guy. I haven't gotten a haircut in like 2 months, so I'm like growing out an afro low key.
Oh,
But
that's long. 2 months. I'm like, I'm itching to get paid.
mm, I don't know. I like. There's nothing better than that feeling you get when you come out of the barbershop with like a new
Oh,
fade.
bro, and you touch your head, you're like,
Yeah.
bro.
It's a great feeling.
Every time I get a fade, I come out of the barbershop and here it's like windy, and bro, I feel so quick. I feel like I move so quickly. Aerodynamic, my head just, I love it. I love the feeling so much. But
Yeah.
here, I'll tell you something here. If it's cold, you struggle, bro. With the fade,
Mm.
well, you definitely feel it. You start, ooh, ooh, and then your ears start to freeze as well. But yeah,
Yeah. I experienced that in Philadelphia because I got a haircut. I think I got a haircut in February, and it was cold, like snowy and everything. And it's nice to feel that hot water run down like your fade
oh
in the
yeah,
shower.
yeah,
Yeah, but when you're outside and it's like cold as you know what, I mean, it's not the best feeling, you know.
yeah. No, but I
Uh,
bet when you get in the shower, it's like I wasn't here to experience a proper cold because obviously I had to go back to Abu Dhabi.
mm,
Um, but because it was snowing here for like a good 2 or 3 months. I don't know if you saw,
mm.
but it just kept snowing. It was like March and it was still snowing. I was like, and I missed out on it. But next year.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of next year, I mean, well, first before we go to next year, you were there. I mean, the UK and COVID kind of mixed like oil and water, so you were kind of in Leeds for some period, and then you came out, and now you're
Yeah.
back.
So
But you were there, yeah.
I was no, I was just going to explain. I was there for 2 months. So I
Mhm.
got there start of September. I was there for 2 months, and then when the lockdown was announced, I was like, I'll just leave. I don't even know when I'm going to be able to come back, but I'll just leave. And I had the idea that I was going to be back in Leeds in like February tops. That But it was just blow off because basically my parents wanted me to get a visa, like resident visa, and I had to be there for it. And it was taking months of process. And then once it finally got done, I couldn't go back because I couldn't come back directly. Because obviously hotel quarantine, a lot of money, nearly
Mm.
£2,000. I'm not going to pay that to be in a little hotel room. So I managed to, hack the system and finessed it and went to Spain, stayed there for 10 days, and then I'm back here. I've been here for a month. So yeah,
And you have like family in Spain you could stay with, or like
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I stayed with my
okay,
grandparents. I stayed there for 10 days. Did the 10 days that were required, and then boom, back here.
cool, smart, got connections, got that wasta.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Um, Tell me how your experience was like, because I mean, you were actually able to go to your university in person. I was too, but I went there later.
Yeah,
How was it like being on campus for the first time?
yeah. So at the start, I was because obviously I came here from Abu Dhabi, so I had to isolate in my room for 10 days.
Mm.
Um, Not the same level as in Abu Dhabi, because in Abu Dhabi, I don't know if you get a wristband if you leave, big fine. Here, you just sort of just left to be in your room, and you're trusted to isolate. Whether you do that, that's up to you.
Mm.
Yeah, so I was here, and then people started coming in. Jack started coming as well. He came a little bit later, and yeah, it was good. I met a lot of people, but like Lucas said the other day, it was tiring at the start because you met
Mm.
people literally. He described it perfectly. It's the same conversation. Oh, how you doing? What's your name? Oh yeah. Oh, what's your accommodation? Oh, I'm staying here. What are you studying? Oh, I'm doing it. Oh, I'm studying. Literally every single person you met was that. So,
Uh,
but no, it was good. It was good. I at the start I was sort of chilling with my flatmates and meeting new English people and just going around and stuff. And then maybe like 2 3 weeks before I left Leeds to go back to Abu Dhabi,
mm.
I met a group of Spanish people like in my residence.
Mm.
There's like 7 8 of us, and I sort of just became friends with them. And it was a shame I had to go because all of them started getting closer to each other and stuff. I was there sort of by myself, but managed to become good friends, and I'm staying with four other guys, all Spanish, next year in a
That's
house.
cool.
Yeah.
That's gonna be dope. The kind of memories you're gonna make are gonna be crazy.
Yeah, no, and hopefully next year. We've been saying this for months, but hopefully COVID restrictions actually get eased up, and then we can actually have proper fun. Because obviously we've had fun, but it's not the same.
Yeah, for sure. I'm actually so last semester when I was on Penn's campus, I was in a dorm by myself, which is nice if you want to do a podcast, but after a while you want to, be able to live with some people. So next semester I'm going to be in a suite with 5 other guys who I met on campus. So I feel like it's going to be a fun kind of experience.
No,
Maybe not
definitely,
this. Yeah,
100%.
for sure. I feel like the UK clubbing scene is probably, for a college student, it's probably more fun than it is for a college student in America, given like
Yeah,
either,
100.
either
Yeah.
age restrictions and stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, it should be fun.
But I mean, you can sort of take advantage of what the US is good at, and that's the house parties. Because I've seen some crazy stuff going on there. So if you want to go out, you got that, and just wait. And then if you're ever in the UK, come clubbing, and yeah. But nah,
Yes,
it will be fun. It's just this year not being able to do that, but it is what it is.
for sure. Yeah. Tell me about you're a business management major. I'm also I'm not a business management major, but I'm in a business school as well. So tell me about why you wanted to do business management in university.
Um, so all of this started from when I was a kid. Because I'm into video games a lot. I'm sure you know. And my uncle was into video games a lot. I think he was some sort of programmer or something. And I sort of told him when I think must have been like 10 to 11 maybe. And I was like, one day I'm gonna own my own business, like video game company, and you're gonna be, creating all these video games and stuff. And he was like, yeah, yeah, we'll see. And I think literally all of that, all of my business sort of motivation came from that. And I think Lucas was talking. See, I watched the podcast.
Yeah,
Lucas was
yeah,
was talking about how people don't like some people don't know what they want to do, and fortunately, I'm one of the people that has known what they wanted to do since I was literally a kid.
mm,
So I've always had my mind fixated on one day like becoming a businessman and having my own business, and
mm.
we'll see. Hopefully we get there.
I called you a future business mogul at the beginning of the podcast, so
Yeah, yeah.
hopefully it's age as well. We'll
I mean,
back this.
I've got to live up to the name now.
Yeah, for sure.
People watching, I've got to do it for them. I got for the podcast. I've got to do it.
Yeah, great expectations. I think you got it in you. You can do it. I think you can.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. I think more than I don't know. I think the knowledge that you get from for example, the course like business management isn't. I think it's very not similar, but it's not as I thought I was going to come in and be learning so many new things, and obviously it's first year, but it's very very similar to what I learned in A level for sure. So I think it's more what you do with the knowledge instead of the knowledge, if that makes sense. I think I've certainly got to go out and get experience somewhere after my my course is done, because if not, it's just wasted it.
Mm,
Definitely got to
for,
go out, work somewhere, get some experience, and just climb the ladder from there.
yeah, for sure. Climb the corporate ladder is
Yeah.
definitely a real thing. Um, I would say as a business student myself, I think I've learned quite a bit, but the thing is, in the UK, you're pretty much strictly doing business related things, whereas in the US, like if you're going to a school that has like a liberal arts kind of program, you have many different requirements. Like I have a humanities requirement, I have a social studies requirement, so I was able to learn a lot of things in college. So doing like a history class in my first semester, which was really interesting, and what else? I think I'm doing a psychology class next semester. But if we're talking about
Yeah.
business related stuff, I think I haven't done a lot. I haven't learned a lot from them because I haven't taken a lot of those classes. But I think this operations information decisions class that I took last semester was pretty interesting because I'd never learned about you know all that stuff with regards to like inventory holding stock and stuff like that. So
Not
it's
my
cool.
favorite. Not my favorite, must say.
Fair enough. Yeah, it was interesting, but I mean, I just want to continue exploring and see what I'm really into. Yeah.
Yeah, no. So I think for me, it is pretty much strictly business. For in here, I think there's six required modules for you to do, and those are all business. Obviously, different aspects. You got human relations, you got marketing, you got finance, you got a whole lot of things. Like it is different. Like every single module is different.
Mm.
And then you take two which are open for you to choose. So you choose what you want to do. It could be biology.
Mm.
It could have nothing to do with what you're studying. But I sort of went down the route, but I I left it to the very last moment. So all of the choices were very, very limited.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to end up doing some dead, but it is what it is. But yeah, I think doing A level, and obviously that's a that's English curriculum, and coming to an English like uni, the differences between the first year and A level, they're not that big. So I don't know. We'll see next year. I don't know. Lucas was saying how he's talked to people how his next year is going to be rough, but I don't know. I have no idea what to expect, especially because this year I have done nothing. I have done nothing. I'm not even joking. At the first term, I was like, I came into uni with the mindset of okay, I'm alone now. I've got to really focus. I've got to get my priorities straight. I've got first 3 weeks. I was like, okay, I'm doing well. I'm doing well, and then it just and second semester when I was in Abu Dhabi, I wasn't even here. I was like,
Mm.
I don't want to do any. I must have gone to like two classes, bro. It was so bad. I
Mm.
managed to because obviously when I have to work, I'll work. So for the exams and whatever, I caught up and everything. But next year, nah, it's game over, bro. I've really, really got to get my priorities straight. So
Mm.
100%.
I would say you said that the jump between A level and your first year of college or university wasn't that great. And I think I would also agree partially. Actually, I would. Yeah, I think I'd agree for the most part because the stuff I did this year in terms of like the the difficulty of the subject matter was
Yeah,
harder, but you know, and the workload was still high. Like I was always doing work and had like long days, so I was constantly working. But the thing is, I'm not gonna lie, I took Chinese A level. You know what I mean? That's like
and
we were getting
maths
tests.
as well.
Yeah, math, econ, chemistry, Mandarin. So like I was working. I still had a lot of work to do in year 13, but like my work was concentrated in like very small pockets of time. I didn't have much time for anything else. But in university, I can wake up at 10, 11, 12, sleep for seven
Yeah,
hours a night, still got all my work done, even though I have a lot of work to do. I can still get it done in a day.
yeah.
Whereas like waking up at 6 and then have a Mandarin test at 8 and then like revising before the test and then I have a math test like tomorrow and a Mandarin test on that same day. So I feel like this
Nah,
I was more control of my
we
schedule.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We were definitely overworked in A level, I'd say, especially with the timings. Like in the UK, I used to wake up at like 8, go to school, get there at 9.
Hmm.
Here, I mean not here, sorry, in Abu Dhabi, some people had to wake up at like 5:30,
Hmm.
and some of those people were like they're literally kids. They're like 10-year olds having to wake up at like 6. Like it's not good. It's definitely not good. And
Exactly.
that it's not even like you wake up at 6, whatever. First 2 hours you might be fine, but after, if you're in English, bro, if you're in English, you just start to see the minds go, ooh, and it's every single day. So I think that is something that is very, very different to here. And obviously in uni, um, you can sort of control when you work, when you wake up, when you eat. And that's certainly something that I love from uni.
Hmm. I
Yeah.
agree. It's that control over your schedule.
Yeah.
Personally, yeah, I think I don't see why you should wake up. Why kids should be forced to wake up like at 6. I feel like you could probably get more of their productive hours if you start an hour later and then finish an hour later. Because at the end of the day, you want them to be assimilating the information. You don't want them to be like, zombies walking in, and then they're still kind of groggy until like 10, So
Some things that just can't. I don't know. Just people incompetence. Just not. I don't know. Well, we're not going to get into. We're not going to get into the people that make these decisions. I don't want to end up. You know. I'm gonna leave it there.
Yeah. Fair enough. You already kind of talked about this. Like, you're going to be in a suite with, or you're going to be living with, I think you said 4 other dudes. Yeah. But is there any kind of like extracurricular society you're looking forward to joining next semester?
I mean, definitely football, bro. This year I wasn't able to join any football because I wasn't even here. Any football team. So I definitely 100% will get into like one of the society, like football societies, because I think there's like different teams, like maths team, biology team, all of that. So I don't know if I end up like joining the business like team or like Spanish society football team, because I know there's that as well. So we'll see. But 100% football. I've missed it. So yeah.
Just for a bit of context for the audience, Jorge was the co-captain of the football team when we were in year 13, which is 12th grade, so we were seniors. So he's nice. He's nice like that. He's got some skills. Yeah.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. I mean, I'm not. When you see some people play here, it's crazy at the level that they're at. I'm not quite up there, but I can play.
Yeah. For sure. You played for Thistle, right? When you were in Abu Dhabi.
So in Abu Dhabi, I played for the school team, and I played for this team called ADY my first year. It was the worst team I've ever played in my life. If Jack watches this, he'll know, because we played together. It was horrible. And then I joined Thistle, and that was a good team. And we had 1 or 2 years when we were literally Spain 2010 level, unbeatable, crazy.
A madness. Yeah.
100% football next year.
Yeah. Is that a sport you've been playing for pretty much your whole life, or?
Yeah, since I was a kid, since I was, I don't know, 3 or 4, and I started kicking a ball. Obviously not playing, but as soon as I got into school and there were football teams, I was on that, and I was playing every single game. And from there, I just,
Progress, yeah. I mean, since we're in the same house, we do a lot of inter-house sports and stuff like that. And, obviously our house is pretty dominant when it came to sports for reasons I'm not going to name. But so we were often, on the same team because we were in the same house.
Yeah.
And, these games are split by age groups and also split by genders. So, all the Fennec boys, Fennec is the blue house, we were on the same team for football, stuff like that. And I remember I was always in defense. So I was always like watching you because you were further up the pitch. And
felt so safe with you at the back. Sergio Ramos. I'm not even joking. Like,
oh, for real?
Yeah. I'm not even joking,
okay.
Bro. There were times where you put in a tackle and I was like, my guy. No, for real.
Okay, thanks. I didn't know that. I had no idea.
Obviously, if you had played, because obviously you didn't play football, but if you had played to like the standard of football, like the club, then maybe you would have struggled. But like people there, they were decent. Like, but you held your ground, bro. I felt safe. I'm not even joking. I did.
Appreciate that. That means a lot coming from an established footballer. You know what I mean? Because like I was definitely offensively challenged, but when it came to defense, that's what I really took pride in.
Yeah, 100%. Those challenges, bro. You just put your foot in and you actually like stole the ball. Like I was like, damn, nice.
Yeah, I like taking the most challenging defensive assignment, which doesn't always end well for me, but like it's fun trying to get the ball off of someone like, I don't know, Willem when he was playing, like, because they're so difficult. So, it's a guard.
Yeah.
But what I was gonna say is like I really like watching the way you dribble. Like you just have this like craftiness. You just kind of like dance through the pitch, and it's just kind of like poetry in motion. Like I like watching that.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that is probably my biggest asset when it comes to football.
Mm.
I'm quick as well. I think that's it. I think. Oh, no, I've got a couple tricks on my sleeve, I'd say. But yeah.
Mm. I would never see you use a lot of like skill moves. I'm sure you have them in the bag, but like I never see you use them. It's just it's like little fancy things, just like rolling your foot over the ball and just like zigzagging through the defense. And then one thing I appreciated about you when you were playing football is that you made sure to get everyone involved. That's one thing I noticed.
Yeah,
like you actually pass.
Yeah, you're playing football. Like, I mean, any sport really. I think, especially if you're playing professionally, right? It's a completely different story. But when you're playing at school, right? I like to win. I like to win all the time, but I don't want to play football and then turn around and see someone like there, like alone or left out, or whatever. So you got to get everyone involved, especially like just like school football like that. Not even like against other teams. You're talking about playing against like against your school friends. Like you got to play. So I think, especially because obviously Mr. Baker sort of like told me to get everyone involved, and I think I was sports captain, whatever that was. but yeah, so obviously I had that role to bring everyone together and get everyone involved. So yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, respect. So I want to transition to the Oluswole Bowl.
I love that. I want to transition to the classic, bro. Every single episode. I love it. I'm not even joking.
Thanks, man. You really listen to the podcast. I see that. Yeah. So I guess you already know the vibes, but just for the listener, if you're listening for the first time, this is the part of the podcast where we ask you some off-the-cuff questions. They might be related to what we were talking about in the podcast, or they might be completely unrelated. So we'll see. So if you only had two options, which were to only speak Spanish for the rest of your life or only speak English for the rest of your life, which one would you choose and why?
Oof, I don't know. I think I'd have to go with English just because the utility that comes with it. Spanish, you can speak it in Spain, and if you go to South America, obviously there. But I think like now, I think you need to know English in order to get somewhere in life right now. So I think I'd have to stick with English, I'd say. But if it was like, which one would I rather speak with no use or whatever, just simply because of what I prefer, I'd say Spanish because that's my first language.
Yeah, and there's also an aspect of there are cultural ties to that you have to Spanish and Spain. So I understand that, but like you said, the utility of English. I mean, British Empire really let their presence be known. I mean, English is spoken in a lot of countries. So yeah,
but if it was purely emotional, I'd go with Spanish. But in this day and age, you gotta go with English. You have to.
It's fair enough. Yeah. Would you rather have the power of flight or invisibility?
I think invisibility, bro. I think imagine the things you could do with that. Not weird things. None of that. I'm talking about, yeah. Actually, I don't know. Nah, invisibility. Yeah, invisibility. Yeah.
I would probably say flight. I mean, assuming that you can move at like a decent pace. You know what I mean? Because if I was able to just fly from here to another country without having to get into an airport and do all this,
you can do that with invisibility.
True.
You just sneak into a plane, first class. You see a little free seat. You just sit there. No one knows that.
True. That's actually a fair point. And a first class experience would be better than me flying by myself. So
yeah.
I might have to go with invisibility. I think you convinced me.
No, I think it's a tough choice, to be fair. I think both of them will be sick. Imagine that.
Yeah, that'll be a madness for sure.
Bro.
Yeah. And last but not least, say you win a $10 million lottery ticket. What are your first three purchases?
Oh, yo, I would say PS5, but I managed to cop one.
Yes,
Um,
sir. Yes, sir.
but I don't know. That's so tough, you know. I
Mm.
mean, I definitely set money aside like 100% for the future. Well, I'd have to buy something for my parents and the rest of my family. I don't know what, but
Mm.
definitely one of that. You got to go with the classic answer of give some to charity. You know, yeah, you have to go with that as well. I think 10 million is a substantial amount. I think that you can definitely do bits with that and help.
Yeah.
But yeah, so definitely do some of that. And I think the rest, what would I buy? I don't know, bro. I can't drive, so I wouldn't buy a car.
Fair enough.
I don't know. I don't know. There's nothing I'd be like, oh, I want that. I just keep it really for investments. I think that's what I do.
That's
Bit of
smart.
crypto,
Yeah. Huh?
bit of crypto.
Yeah. Yeah. That could be smart.
Yeah,
Put a little money in there. Big rewards. Uh, I think for me, if I had to, I mean, yeah, I'd like to invest, but if I was thinking just strictly purchases, like you said, it's something I really want. It's something I actively am looking for. Um, I'd probably maybe buy my parents a house,
yeah,
or
that's what I'm talking about. You know, like
yeah,
I think that's why I buy something for my not just my parents, but also like the rest of my family. Like something like that. I wouldn't. There's nothing I'd be like, oh, $10 million, let's go. I could buy. There's nothing like that. Maybe I'd buy, go to Supreme or something and just cop
Hmm.
couple goms. But yeah, but,
I think yeah, I would also maybe consider buying a studio space for like my podcast and really upgrade it. You know,
yeah, that would be peng. That would be peng.
yeah, for sure, for sure. I got some things in store for next semester when I get back on
All
campus,
right, all
but
right. Should get some LED
yeah,
lights. I've got some in my room. Definitely get that and you just pimp the place out. Just
that would be dope for sure. I know a friend. I think a friend I'm living with has some, so uh, at least his place will be lit. But LED lights look pretty nice. Yeah,
you set them up. They're easy and they look so cool.
yeah,
If you
for
want, I can
sure.
show you.
Yeah, yeah. Turn them on. Let's see that. If you're listening to this on audio, you're missing out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100, bro. Look at this. So turn the lights off. I mean, the blinds off. I can't really tell with that light, but I like to keep it in faded, just constantly changing, bro.
Oh yeah, it looks like a disco. It looks
Yeah.
dope.
It looks
Yeah.
like another thing as well. I wouldn't say disco. Oh, that was cool.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Well, yeah, thanks Jorge for coming on the podcast. This is a really cool episode.
Yeah, thank you, bro. I appreciate it. It was fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oluswole is available on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. And if you watch this on any of our platforms, our socials are linked in the description. We're also on TikTok, so go run that up. And thank you guys for listening. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, we got to stay relevant with the times. So, we have to get on TikTok as well.
All right, all
But
right.
yeah,
I'll be on that. I'll follow that.
for sure. Thanks, man. Thank
Yeah,
you
thank
guys for
you so much,
listening.
bro.
Yeah, no problem. Peace.